Scorpios, my darlings, how are you doing? Why have I come to your zodiac and wanted to go, "You're right, love? You're right, treacle? How you doing? How you getting on? How's life treating ya? How's the kids? How's the family? You alright? How's it going then? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments, hit the like button, let me know how you're getting on out there, right? That's what I wanted to say. Oh, and my phone is alarming and it shouldn't be. Hold on. So we're going to take that as a download, as a synchronistic message, and that's somebody out there, potentially, or one of your passed on loved ones, or someone you know. So hold that. There's a Cockney energy that wants to come out of me. And I want to keep going, "You're right, love, you're right, treacle, how's life treating you, you're right?" Want to get the East End out, and I am from the East End, but that's not my natural voice, because I am very middle class, upper class. I actually went to a church school, which I'm now realising is quite like a private school, so I'm actually quite exquisite in vocabulary. I'm not quite East End, were there? So sorry. Which is an absolute fucking joke, because I come from the fucking ghetto, and that's North London. Absolute gutter rat I am. But do you know what? I didn't come here to talk about me today. I love to talk about me, but that is not what we're doing today, because it's about you. Have you seen the thumbnail? Can you see the spread? That is indeed out. It's interesting, isn't it? Because we're looking at the action position and we're looking at the sun. Gorgeous energy coming in for you. And we're looking at the mission and challenge, and it's the Hermit. So I see, what I want to say is sliding doors. I want to say D-brains, string theory. Stay with me, don't get lost. You haven't got to be a physicist to understand this reading, I promise. But we're talking about this Hermit shift from inside to outside. And it's beautiful to place it in that way, because if you are in the United Kingdom at this time, we've just shifted into spring, and April is around the corner, and we've just had the equinox, and it's a really, really gorgeous season. The weather's picking up, the vibes are nice, so it's the bears coming out of hibernation. We're all starting to wake up. And what I'm being guided to say in relation to that is, don't be alarmed and don't feel under pressure, because things are going to start moving now, and they're really going to start picking up pace, and they're really going to start picking up momentum. I wanted to say I could be speaking to a king. Hold that in any way that you want to. I could be talking to a philosopher. I could be talking to a grey analyst, a grey developer, someone who understands what it means to work in the grey area. There's loads of different grey labels, yeah? They mean many different things. I'm talking to someone who has a very alternative job. I want to talk about someone in the FBI, someone in the FBI who works in the grey, yeah? A grey agent, yeah? A grey developer. Very, very specific, interesting. I want to say grey, but I also then could be talking to a psychic medium, a clairvoyant, someone who uses their spiritual gifts and abilities, someone who works as an intermediary for a company, yeah? If you're in human resources, you sometimes don't hold a position fixed to that specific company. You could be somewhat outsourced, and you could be dealing with staff concerns on the floor versus higher level executives. So we're looking at someone in the in-between phase of life at a really crucial time, because things are starting to pick up. There's a real pace and momentum in somebody's life, and this could be someone who is getting more into spirituality, more into mediumship, more into light work, more into investigating the greys, extraterrestrial, UFO, more into Congress, FBI, ideologies of classical conditioning want to come to me now, so hold that loosely, about how our brains work, how we function, how we operate. A lot of questions coming at me from above to give to you guys, and it's just, whoa, there's so many pieces, there's so much different ideas, there's so much things going on to the design, and and I guess that's why I felt inspired to use the Keith Haring deck today, which is indeed a amazing passed on artist, but he's a major arcanas deck. Well, his artwork turned into major arcanas. Big fan of this deck. And we're going to go. because you are being guided to ride the wave, my love. Ride the wave, my darling. Dolphin spirits out was really, really nice, because I've got my own cards out on the board today, and they're out for the week, and they've got nothing to do with you, but I've got the dolphin out in my own personal spread. And I live for it, because the dolphin, this is from the Kim's Cran tarot deck, spirit animal oracle deck. And what I love about it is it really speaks about that freedom, that fun, that liberation, that light-heartedness. Dolphins are gorgeous, aren't they? Aren't they just so lovely and loving and kind? And don't piss them off, may I add. And don't get them at a really nocturnal time, like, if that makes sense. Just, obviously, every animal in the wild has their moments. But ultimately, they are just such divine beings. And you're being encouraged to ride the wave. If you're going on holiday, get in the sea. If you have opportunity to pet dolphins, go and see dolphins, embrace that experience. Really gorgeous summer holidays, or sun, or a pastime in the sun, in the water, in the sea. Being around wild animals is really good for you at this time, okay? I love this energy, because this is the action position, and this is happening with or without you, because the tower's in the middle. You've got limited control here, yeah? Over the next year of your life, fascinating energy coming through. Over the next year of your life, you have limited control. I want us to say limited capacity. I want us to say limited liability. Limited reserves. Loads of different areas of life for you guys out there, yeah? Regardless of it, limited, yeah? So you can take that in a positive or negative, but it's showing me you're really, really conscious, okay? In this reading, I want to jibber jabber and splatter and go everywhere. There's so much going on. I get a lot of ideas of holiday, sun, summer, sunbathing, dolphins, snorkeling, scuba diving. I get casino. I get martini. Can you get a martini on the rocks? I wanted to say martini on the rocks. We're really stepping into that sun era, and I wanted to say Hollywood era as well. Yeah, turning up. Someone's turning up, and someone's really just going with it, and it's just a natural way of living. But you haven't really been there. You could be going to somewhere you haven't been in ages. Yeah, could be going to LA as well. I want to say. With the Chariot energy in the past position, it's letting me know that you've been wobbly for a while, okay? So you haven't really been stable on your feet. You've had a lot of protection around you. Maybe you had some guard dogs, metaphorically speaking, as potential humans or legal, yeah? Protective protocols, mechanics, professionals around you to keep you safe. You was really, really wobbly, okay? And in relation to that, in the now moment, is the Tower. That wobble is finally resulting in major change. The issue in your past, from what I can tell, is the fact that you were just fucking wobbling. There's no awareness of if you're going to fall, why you're wobbling. This could be anxiety, this could be panic attacks, this could be general, I want to say tizzies and wobbles, right? We're British, right, over here. So tizzy, tantrum, wobbles, a little unstable mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, any kind of way it is for you. You're feeling that energy, right? Tower moment is, there's an end to that wobble, because you've fallen the fuck down in some regard, in some way. There's been enlightenment here. With this image in the Tower, and we're looking at this kind of radioactive alien flying off at the top, that is giving me the vision of Futurama. And it's the mean dictatorial ones that come in and they speak when some of them are in the shuttle or something like that, when they're in the Planet Express. I don't want to get lost in the TV show, but go and watch Futurama if you haven't. New seasons are still existing, believe it or not, after all these years. Amazing show. But there's these mean dictatorial aliens in it, and they're always kind of coming through with, we have come from this planet and we must do this. And it's kind of, whoever the dictator here is creating that stability, creating that tide, creating that change. That could be you. Because I'm so sorry, But when it comes to being a leader, and I don't know why I'm apologising, but clearly I am, but when it comes to being a leader and comes to being in charge, someone has to go, oi, you, what are you doing? Get that done. Where is this? Like, I'm looking at the dictator, and it's mean to say that, but sorry, we should then say the delegator, yeah? But as you can see, dictation and delegacy, is that a word? To delegate and to dictate are two different things. One comes with a much nicer air to it. But when someone's in the chariot and they can't go left or right, look at the chariot image. Two-headed dog with the person in the middle, all tethered to each other with how many legs? You can't do anything. Someone is going to need to really shake you up so you can find a way to move again. And someone's come in, you or them, because you could be this energy I'm speaking of. I see you riding the wave and minding your business. I think you being overjoyed that someone's come in and shaken shit up. I think the holy grail and the light here is that someone's come in. It could be God, Sun God Ra's looking at me here. The divine's looking at me here. But someone's come in and shaken up a fucking snow globe. If you are indeed a believer of Brahman and the cosmos, you will understand that we are nothing but a whole load of cosmic snow globes sitting on the shelf in somebody's warehouse waiting to be sold through a kind of Amazon warehouse distribution centre. Let's be honest, if you've seen Harry Potter in the prophecy room and everybody's prophecies just lined up and Harry's in there searching for his own and every fucking wizard in the world has got their own on the shelf, it's life, yeah? We all think we're so amazing and perfect and our money and our glitz and glam and everything about us is so exquisite. But the truth of the fucking matter is, we are a pinch of salt, a grain of dust, nothing in relation to the cosmos and the universal law that truly exists. We are on one planet. And we live in a multi-planetary ecosystem. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Oxygen's real. You can't see oxygen, but you know it's keeping you alive in the now moment, yeah? So let's apply that ideology of oxygen to every fucking thing we can't see. And I say that as a clairvoyant psychic medium who has contact with the other side and sees spirit and archangels and a whole load of other shit that if I didn't believe in, I would be totally fucked in the head. And somebody in a straitjacket just sitting on a chair in a mental institution like, yeah, all day and night. Because what else would I fucking do, right? And it looks like somebody else could have been down that pathway with that chariot card and that struggle with the four legs, two-headed dog spinning around with a hula hoop. It's a metaphor for somebody going through absolute struggle, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever way it resonates for you. It's been hellish. What's so gorgeous about that, when we move to the future position and the moon shows up, we're looking at the dogs now looking at each other face on. Imagine all the years that these dogs couldn't really look at each other and see each other. Now they're having a real conversation. We're looking at two people coming together. Or your yin and yang. This could be you and another. This could be a leader. I spoke about that dictator. I spoke about that person taking the lead, being the power player, being in control, you or them. But either way, we're looking at two entities, two dynamics, two vibrations, two energies coming together, still under the moonlight, because the moon you can't see. And this is the card message, what I'm getting intuitively, and it's going, be grateful that you can't see right now. Be grateful that you can't see. Be grateful that you can't see. And that's fascinating to me because in relation to the past, Chariot, that's when you really couldn't see. So you can see now, even though things are shrouded from you. And although you can't see entirely, so whatever you were manifesting, whatever you really wanted to see, whatever your expectations were, they've shifted. And your acceptance of what you see in the now or receive in the now is so much more stable and I want to say paced and viable and realistic, because compared to what you did see in the past, what you did have in the past, the struggle you was in, you're practically clear sight now. you know, without it. And that's a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. So it feels like you've been given some kind of gift of sight, gift of clarity. Gorgeous. It's helped you build your confidence and self-esteem. Helped you really work on you. It's giving you faith in a relationship in another person. The challenge is how much you come out of your shell with this. Because the solar plexus is here, shining through in the Hermit card. And that's your mission position. The mission and challenge. And it's giving, I stand on stable ground. I have light to give to others. How much should I share? How many steps forward should I take? Who should I really speak to about this? Yeah? Really gorgeous, really purposeful, really powerful, really in your position. The only thing I want to tap into really quickly is your interference position. The only thing that's going to mess around with you at this time is anyone else that wants to come in and intervene and tell you how to live. What you should be really incredibly conscious of at this time is what makes your confidence dwindle. Yeah? And it's really important that you get to grasps of who takes your joy away. And that's not a reflection of anyone else or me being rude or going, fuck that CUNT over there, they're taking my light. But just be really humble and honourable with it and go, didn't enjoy that engagement, didn't enjoy that interaction, that wasn't fun or prosperous for me. That person's just not a vibrational match to me at this time. Yeah, that situation, that venue. If you're in a working environment, smelly, stuffy, claustrophobic, not going to go into that room again. Worked with somebody and they made inclinations about your art, your craft, I want to say your music, so you could be a musician, but I'm getting a lot of office space. So whatever it is, when you're or you feel someone's trying to get you to invest, it's not a viable product, someone wants to join the team, someone wants to come in and have a coffee day or a coffee morning, lots of different things coming up to me. But either way, you didn't enjoy that. Acknowledge that that wasn't the highest vibration for you. And always choose the highest vibration. You're allowed to say no, you're allowed to say next, you're allowed to say no thank you and move on. And the only thing here for you now, because this is a one-way trajectory to easy street for you guys, okay? Which makes me want to scream the guy from Annie. Who's the man that adopts Annie? Something Warbox. That's what I'm getting in my head. Because I want to sing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. And I want to talk about the movie Annie for some reason. Weird how visions work. But the fact that Annie's leaving the orphanage and she's moving in with the rich guy and it's that fast-paced story of someone's reality really, really shifting. We spoke at the beginning about that paradox, right? So that bear coming out of hibernation, that shift, that Hollywood, we spoke about those martinis. Crazy how the visions work today. I'm really going here, there and everywhere. I'm seeing so much different stuff, so bear with me as I kind of mesmerize over my own vision at this time. I like this journey we're on is fascinating. Because the image I'm getting here is what surrounds you is this trajectory of, and it could be billions, because I want to say billions, yeah? I want to talk about billion-dollar dreams and just believing in more. And I know it feels really, really silly because the mass population don't have billions or even millions. We're all below the breadline or really, really struggling. But it's not a... I want to say it's not an opposites attract. So hold that, because that's not what I really wanted to say. I felt like I had to say that for someone specific. It's not an opposites attract, but it's an awareness that whatever you want, you can manifest and bring into your reality. And I am really tired of environments, I wanted to say paradoxes, and mind frames, and thought processes that are rooted in ideologies of you can only achieve this because this is all that's in your circumference, yeah? I don't know how many of you are understanding what I'm talking about today. I feel so thrown vocally. I really hope this lands and hits matter and makes sense to whoever it's for, okay? This is a really weird one for me, because what I'm kind of getting and what I want to share is, I do a lot of different stuff. I get a lot of no's. I've had a lot of rejection. I've had a lot of knockbacks in my life. I've done the research. I've developed the intelligence, in my opinion. If someone else says, I don't believe in your mission, I don't believe you have the intelligence, I don't believe that's a genuine concept, I don't think you're right, I think that's impossible, I don't see that, that doesn't make sense. If they're a billionaire, a millionaire, a CEO, a corporate lead, have a humongous C-suite, or a government official, thank you. Namaste. That doesn't mean I stop. Yeah? This is where I believe I've won in life, and where I win every time I choose this narrative and this path and I actualize this. Anytime I get that rejection, anytime that lead, that corporate professional, that power player in the room tells me, no, that's not possible. That's happened in spirituality for me, in mediumship with me. No, we don't think that your gifts work that way. The way that you read, or the way that you say your clairvoyance works, or how you connect to the other side and connect to these kinds of people, that's not possible, I've been told. You know? And I would never tell anybody ever, stay with me here, this is important, especially in the spiritual realm, because we can talk corporate all day and how they will tell you this and that and have this power play, but in the spiritual field, I think it's real shameful if you are to tell anyone that their gifts don't work how they say their gifts work, especially if you don't know them. Yeah? And I've been in situations where people don't even have this clear senses I do. I have clairvoyance. You have a different gift. But you've outrightly told me that my gift and my tarot cards and how I deliver and visualize is impossible. That's heartbreaking from another professional or another spiritualist, because I can't do what you do spiritually. If you're clairsentient, claircognizant, clairtangent, there's all these different clairs, I can't tell you how your gifts work. I can only tell me how my gifts work after years of studying and working through it. So to meet another and say, no, that's not doable, it dismisses the whole genre and category that we're even existing in. And I know it works. I see it come true. I've seen my reality shift time and time again. Yet I've been in the chariot energy. Two-headed dog, 4 legs with hula hoops spinning around like a fucking moron, because what am I supposed to do? Nobody believes or receives my narrative. What most people do when they get knocked back and rejected, Scorpio, is they stop and they halt and they shelf that reality, that dream. And they live in the confinements of what is defined by that higher order, by that executive. And that's my point here. I've said no. I'm not going to fight against an executive, a professional, a lead. You're higher up than me. I see you. And the gated community, I came to you. I respect you. But if you say no, that's not possible, let me pull the fuck back, go back into hermit mode, sit in my philosophical energy, theorize that a little bit more, study that, analyze that, run the systematic review, run the fucking over of that, and then keep moving forward with that. As a result, today I am now doing physics, quantum mechanics, field engineering in ways I would have never seen or perceived. A lot of shit I still don't understand. So I don't even desire to pull up and engage with a lot of people anymore in the way in which I used to, because they didn't understand then. So they're not going to understand now. But guess who understands me? Guess who also understands the peers that reviewed that peer-reviewed article that's highly significant, that came out from serious governing bodies and publications in the scientific field? Okay, I'll hold that. And we've also got publications coming out covering quantum mechanics from a scaffolding approach. that I've been sitting on for 6-7 years, sounding like a lunatic by my blood clot self. But now we've got physicists, quantum mechanics, formalizing these constructs into very serious books that also include mathematical foundations and algorithms and applications. Is that correct, oh Lord? Come in, Jesus Christ. Brahma, are you there? Krishna, do you hear me? Vishnu, are you there? Shiva, Kalima, Hanuman, pull up, all of you, because clearly you are working hard. Clearly I'm working hard. I hope that makes sense, Scorpio. The point of me sharing that narrative with you is do not give up and do not stop. You can't control the wave you're on. Ride the dolphin to the end of the line. I have come so far in my life. And that is because every single time somebody dismissed my narrative, I said, thank you for giving me the time. And thank you for letting me know you don't understand me. You don't receive me. And we are not one. I don't belong in your community. I'm out here looking for community. I'm looking to fit in. I've never really fit in anywhere. I'm looking. Still can't find it. That's okay. I'm not going to break, but I'm going to keep going. And I can't see with the moon. There is no absolute clarity here, but I have the light and the confidence and I know how to communicate clearly. You got to find what you need in, I want to say, untoward places. Yeah? Unfamiliar faces. The places I've ended up in my life and the way my reality has manifested itself, I would say it's like a 60-40. Like, I foresaw this, but it's when you look at all the nuts and bolts of it, I didn't foresee all of these other things. And I couldn't have got here without all these other things. I didn't realise the general consensus, the general manifestation would ripple out and create and manifest all these other things too. And then I also didn't understand how important all of these other elements that manifested are and how they all have their own legs and need to move. And that's why the wobble's been so significant. That's why we've had that wobble, okay? With that, this is destined for you anyway. The only thing that will fuck you over at this time is resisting this. Yeah? The vision in my head is going horse riding. And someone who's unexperienced riding a horse, you start kicking the horse and they go faster. You act to fall on a horse. You're going to trigger the horse and the horse is going to buck and you're going to fly the fuck off and hurt yourself, or they're going to take off and you're panicking. You're kicking the horse in fear vibration, not thinking that you're saying faster, faster. So bear that in mind. Yeah? You're an easy street. Yeah? You're an easy street. Ride the wave and enjoy it for the rest of the year. Don't resist this. And move away from any conflictual energy. You don't need any conflict. And that is not opposing constructs, but I wanted to say nosy narratives that don't provide action or solution. Nosy narratives that are not actionable or provide solution. They're just going around and around and around. And in some instances, people are nosy because they need to know. Yeah? People's noses are in because they need to know the next steps. It's a conglomerate of conversation that is needed sometimes so everybody can go off and do their jobs and be where they need to be. I said that generally because it depends what department or area of business or life you're in. But don't get caught up in conflictual ties, especially other people around you will be fighting. Yeah? When other people are in the room fighting, take a back seat. If you need to walk away and let's say, I'll leave that with you. step out and let them get on with it, because you don't need to intervene and save a hoe. Yeah, this isn't Captain Save a Hoe season. We left that back in 2014. No more saving hoes now. We haven't got time. Yeah, unfortunate, unless you work at Hermitology Limited and you represent Whore Protect. That's a very different conversation. My goodness, let's not forget there are real things that need to be happening. Dearie me. On that note, we're going to wrap it up. And we're going to advise that you go over to hermitology.me and check out what's going on over there. It is a plethora of me and my life and everything I'm developing and building and manifesting my reality. But the bare minimum over there for you would be the tarot musical. So go over there, hit music, and listen to some beautiful tarot in a beautiful musical variety. Yeah, some fun stuff that breaks down the meaning of different tarot cards. We're now on Act 3, and there's a lot more fun stuff to come out over there. So dive in, see all the things I do, see what's going on in life, and look at the different topics and things going on in the world right now, and see where you sit in life and what you want to do and how you want to evolve. And enjoy life. Ride the wave. Ride the fucking wave. Love and light, Scorpio.